Hey, what's up, Spice Fiends, and welcome to a Nerdie Bunch weekly review for Dune Prophecy. My name's Dave, and joining me to discover his genetic heritage is my co-host, Andrew. What's up, Andrew?
What's up, David?
I've been doing my truth sayer training, practicing, so I'm letting you know. I will tell if you're lying.
I love recording these podcasts.
We get to talk episode 5, titled In Blood, Truth. And without spoiling, that's a very apt title, wouldn't you say?
It is. It really is.
And it's one of those episodes where the title is very apt in multiple ways, both literal, figuratively. You know, truth is in blood, and we find out lots of truth about through blood and about blood, right?
As expected, but still it's a little shocking.
I enjoyed this episode. It brought some problems for me. Not necessarily problems of what we've seen, but problems of what we haven't seen. Namely, I feel like the season is too short. I feel like we just started getting into the things. And I'm worried about the final episode. Though, like I've said before, some of my problems could be
solved with more seasons.
If we have more seasons. That is correct. Because we have a lot of plot threads. And then some plot threads were kind of coasting for a bit, and then suddenly they ramped up a little bit, but not enough. I feel they could finish in one more episode. But again, I like where the characters are positioned. Some theories were either debunked or maybe given another layer, depending how you look at it. We'll find out. We shall see. And we have new characters to disrupt what we thought or characters thought was going to happen. What did you think of this episode, spoiler free?
I really enjoyed it as well. There were some key revelations, things we've been waiting to see. All of our guesses came true, which we'll touch on. But I definitely have the same issue as you, because I'm like, wait, one more episode? There's no way. Impossible to tie it all up, but I guess I want to see what actually gets tied up. And I feel like, again, the thing about a show like this is, since we know things go on for generations and eons, you know, it's not necessarily going to be like a conclusion. It's just going to be like, what is the full stop for some of these characters, right? So there's a lot of new questions, even a lot of characters stepped up. Some are stepped down, and the end was great. I don't know that I guessed that reveal, or
no, absolutely not.
The truth. I was led astray. That was not what I was thinking, and I
in hindsight, it's obvious.
It is, and I'm like, oh, but I guess that's the sign of a good, story element, right? It's not. They didn't pull it out of left field. Is my point. It wasn't like so random. It was like,
right.
Oh, I see. Duh. Which was really good. So yeah, I thought this was a good episode. I've been enjoying this. They got to give us another season, right? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess
we haven't heard anything, but yes,
I feel like there are too many things. There are even things from last episode that weren't touched on at all that I was a little confused about, which I won't say yet. But all in all, enjoyed the episode, and I hope they finish at least with a satisfying end to some of these main storylines, right? Even if not everything, that's fine. But there are definitely a few threads that need to be closed, and I hope they're able to do that. They should make a really long finale, like an hour and 30 minutes.
Speaking of movie,
honestly.
All right, well, let's go into spoilers. And I'm going to go straight into it. That ending, you know, they get some kissy time. We find out that Desmond's true identity. Or at the very least, right? We know that through his DNA, he mentioned that his mother was one of the sisters. And we see that through Tula's checking the blood, she finds the truth that he is like Paul Atreides of both ancestry of Harkonnen and Atreides. Which, if we can put 2 and 2 together, again, it's never explicitly said, but those of you who are paying attention,
that's her child.
Before she killed her lover, she had sexy time with him. We questioned, like, why did she have sexy time with him? What was that for? You know, narratively, that's what it was setting up, and that she abandoned her child, and it gives you an understanding of why he so passionately hates the sisters. What did you think of that reveal?
And she lied to Valia, right? That I think that she got rid of the baby. I'm pretty sure. The reveal caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that, but I love that it's grounded in the world. It explains a lot of things. It explains Desmond's anger. It explains his motives. It explains even just the way we see Tula, right? Because she's like semi empathetic. She's definitely vicious, but she's also like has a heart-ish, or even the
Mhm.
way she's treating, Lila, who we get to. Um, and I feel like Desmond wanted them to know. That's my decision now. By putting the blood right in front of
Mhm.
Valia last episode, that was very intentional. He wanted, like, he's like,
Mhm.
go check your archives.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
he wants to know his mother as well, right? Because he doesn't know who his mother is.
Yeah, just know it's one of them.
S So I hope they get to meet next episode. I I feel like Tula is just gonna leave and go find. I don't know how they're gonna meet, but I do hope they do get to have some sort of interaction. And I
Mhm.
think that's why I say it feels like in one episode to do all that, like interact, Valia finding out. We have the Emperor and his concubine. Oh, well, not concubine, whatever. There's so many things that need to kind of be addressed, but I feel like at least this was a big, big, big one that has been addressed. And I like that they didn't wait to the final episode for that as well,
Mhm.
right? Or like
Mhm.
leave us
Mhm.
on a cliffhanger. Like, okay, now we know, and it's like, okay, it's all ramped up for that final episode. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Mhm.
whoa. Like, what is gonna become of all of them, right? Because Desmond has now been upgraded, right?
Right.
Head of
He's now the
this
Bashar.
Suicide Squad, Bashar.
I like the
Um,
scene when he walks up to Kieran, and you're like, "Oh, like, do you wanna come with
I
us?"
thought it was gonna take him.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I was so sure it was gonna take him right there, but
Right.
he was so quiet. I wasn't sure if he suspected him or not.
Mhm.
Um, that's what I couldn't tell. I was like, is he doing that like keep your friends close, enemies closer,
Mm.
or was he really just like follow us?
Yeah, yeah.
Which
I mean, he
which
was a
is
sword master.
interesting. Yeah, fair enough, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, jumping as well. But I can't. I didn't expect Constantine to be the one to rat him out.
Oh, I was like, "Damn." But then it kinda works, right? Let's go to Constantine's story. Constantine's one of those characters that we kind of spoke about how we didn't really know his place in this
Yeah,
story, and I like this episode for him because you realize that is the narrative, that he doesn't know
exactly.
his place. Is
Neglected
the
and
na
mhm.
right? And, when he asks his mom, he's like, "You sisters, you do everything with purpose. You don't do everything by mistake. What was the point of having me? What was the purpose of having me?" Right? You knew that I can never ascend to the throne in certain ways. You knew, uh, uh, um, uh, because you were never legitimate with the emperor.
The Emperor,
So
yeah.
why have me? And you realize, well, because he was there. Because again, their grand plan initially was to get what's her name, his sister, uh,
Inez,
uh, uh,
yeah.
uh, Inez, to that. But so he was there to protect her, to make sure she's
Yeah,
kept safe and protected. So I kind of like that narrative. But again, through this, you
agreed.
start to see, she even speaks to Havica and just like, I'll do it, I'll help you, but or even when she's speaking to Valia, she's like, I'll do all that stuff, but I have to make sure my son is protected and he has his shit together. And she even tells her son, like, when he asks her, why didn't you care about me? You left me with this father who doesn't care about me. And she's like, you should see your father for the man who really is, someone who reacts, who's controlled by fear. I was like, ooh.
Mm.
You
That
don't care what anyone
yeah.
thinks. She says to him. And then on
Francesca
top of
was
that,
dropping bars.
right? And then on top of that, with Kieran saying to him, "You can be better. Stop around," all that kind of shit. I can now see why all that compounded. Where he was like, "I'm going to prove
Agreed.
myself.
Yep.
Look what I found." Right?
And
What do you think is
the
going to
way
happen to
Nez
Kieran?
looked at him though, like, "You little."
You bastard.
I mean, but what did you want him to do? Like, he's a snitch, he's a snitch.
Right? And he didn't go
Like,
out of
that's
his way
nothing's
because
fault.
he just
No,
discovered the map. Right? This is like, well, I have
exactly.
to say something.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought that was a good moment just for even helping the emperor be convinced of Francesca's plan, right?
Hmm.
Because she even mentioned that that is mentioned to the emperor that Constantine's kind of like you were when you were young,
Hmm.
right? Don't act so high and mighty, right? Like you are all
Hmm.
perfect, or you weren't also in a similar situation. So I love that like connivingness. The empress was just so pissed this whole episode,
Hmm.
right? Like every time Francesca was on scene, she was just like glaring at her.
Well, that's the thing, right? Now we also understand why she hates the sisters so much, right? We
Exactly.
understood it a little bit because we thought, okay, the sisters have power, but now I feel like this is the real reason,
Like,
right?
specifically,
She
yeah, definitely that.
she's always known that her sister had
Slept with
an
her
affair
husband.
or moment or slept with her husband and has an illegitimate child is of a sister. That's why you can now it makes sense why she's so against the sisters. Just when Francesca shows up, just the look that the wife
Like,
was
she was
giving,
I literally took a screenshot,
daggers.
I have it. It was just so funny. She's just like, "Oh, you hell no. Oh, hell no." She's like, "Oh, I didn't know this was a private affair or something." I can't remember, something like similar to that. But even Francesca, like I thought she was really good in the way she was portraying herself because to the Emperor, to Valia, she seems to just be in she's like in control of her own situation a little bit, even though she's playing side, right? She doesn't seem like a
Mhm,
weak woman at all. And I like that. Like you said, her focus is her son, right? She may be
mhm,
doing this grander plan, but all in all, son comes first, right? And I thought that was really good and just a good way to help Constantine kind of ascend out of his shell, right, a little bit,
mhm,
and
mhm.
get that final push or motivation from his mom to be like, come on, go on, son, try, go on, give it a good go.
I think one of the themes this episode highlights of the overall show is, and you see it through multiple characters, is this idea of this is the overall thing of what I believe, right? I believe in the
Mm-hmm.
sisterhood. I believe in the empire. I believe in, in overthrowing the empire, depending where you come from. But at times with these characters, it comes at odds with their personal wants and needs,
Personal, yep, yep.
right? Right. This is what I want for the greater good, as I see it, but this is also what I want for
For
myself.
myself, yep,
Right.
exactly.
You see with Francesca, he has the greater good of of the sister's plan, but she's like, yeah, but my son.
My
What about my
son,
son?
though. Mm-hmm.
My son, though. You get Valia, right? She wants to see the sister's plan made by Raquel go forward, but she's like, but my revenge, though. So everyone's like on this kind of, or even like Kieran. He has this will to kind of overthrow the powerful people. But it's like, yeah, but
Yeah,
but my relationships
but
though,
but
like
Inez though, yeah, and my friend, yeah.
so you get a lot of but I want to do this, but this personal
But
thing that's
something, yeah,
cl- I'm clashing with. I know that even shit. I even like it with you see it with and I wonder where it's going with Michaela, right? When she blows up a
yeah,
whole place and everything like that, and then she finds out from Valia that, oh, that's just a distraction. It's okay,
yeah. She's like,
and she's like, wait,
oh,
what?
forget about that. She was so upset. She's like, I put my life was all in there, and the other's like,
Right,
shut up,
right,
like,
right, right.
grow up,
But
lady.
when she says, "I won't betray my people the same way as I did Horace and the others," and then Theo's like, "The sisters are your people." Like,
Yeah, like, what do
damn.
you mean, your people? What do you mean, you people? Like,
And then
girl,
she was like,
your focuses are not focused.
which again shows it's going to prove to us, unfortunately, as we expected, that Theo is fully on Team Valia, like fully. Like
Yeah,
Michaela even says, "I see you're molding this one into your image." Right? It's just like
like
Theo's
she's
fully
100%. She drank all the
right.
Kool Aid.
And even earlier on, Desmond even says to her, he's like, like you're gonna betray your own people. You're gonna. He says, these people, you're gonna profit up the rape of your planet, communing with your oppressors. Like, oof,
That's crazy. Like, damn.
oof.
But yes, that is what she's doing.
Exactly. So again, this larger narrative of the greater good as I see it versus my own
My
personal
own
things.
personal goals and good. Yeah.
How does that clash? And I'm curious where, when she left, she even says, let's see how long you remain this naive acolyte. So it's like,
Yeah,
I'm
like, ooh.
curious. I'm curious where her story is going. But speaking of the acolytes, we had an assumption, which was wrong, but in a different way. We thought when Lila woke up, it would be Dorothea inside
Yeah, it
her.
was not.
Apparently, it's not, but it was her grandmother, Raquel. I thought the actress does a fantastic job of acting
She
like this
did.
old lady.
She did. She did. Because I could tell just from the mannerisms that she was not
Right?
herself at that time.
No,
And then
no.
later on, you could tell when she was herself, when she was
Hmm.
lying down, right?
Hmm.
And that's why I said I called. I knew there was going to be like double body, possession. It wasn't just going to be one or Raquela or Lila. And that's what I'm curious about. Is it just Raquela? We're going to see next episode. Like,
Oh no,
I
I
don't know
think
how it
Dorothea is still
works.
coming. Dorothea is still
Yeah.
coming. No, because I think because you have to remember that these personalities are always there, right? So I think sometimes it might trigger. So I feel like Dorothea is going to appear when they see Valia,
For
something like that,
100%. It'd be
like a
like,
trigger.
you.
And you even get a hint of things, right? When Raquel is just like, no, did Valia and my granddaughter ever fix their beef or something? And they're like,
And they're like,
no,
I
not
mean, the
that.
beef ended, but if you find out how it ended, you might not be too happy about that.
Didn't you see her with you in the spirit world?
I guess maybe spirits can't talk to themselves.
Maybe.
Who knows? Who knows the
Yeah.
logistics of that?
But I liked how there's and even little moments where, again, the acting where she's almost treating Tula as her student, like, oh, what's this mess everywhere? What's going on with
Hmm.
all this stuff? She's very
And
much like
even
a
Tula's
teacher.
face, like you said, the reacting acting, she could tell immediately in that moment, like, oh shit.
Yes.
And I know who that is.
Hmm. We find out how well also like when Sister Avila. I feel like Sister Avila spends the whole season just complaining. We're not allowed to do
Complaining
that.
and
Stop doing
bitching.
that.
She's straight up just bitching the whole time. Like nag, 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 nag.
And she has no power. You remember your place, Sister Avila. Like
Yeah, Tula's like,
she talks as if she
chill.
has power. I
But
think
she does
because she's
not.
like she's older, she's been there a while, but you haven't gone through. She hasn't done
The
the what's it called?
eye drop stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ascension? It's not ascension,
No,
right?
no, no, no. Agony, the agony.
Agony, yes.
Yeah, so I feel like she hasn't done that, so she's all talking, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, she says a term which I wanted to let you know. She says a term, an abomination, and it wasn't just a word used as
Mm,
you would usually use the word. The term abomination is a specific in the Dune universe has a specific use. It's
mm.
known to it's used to describe those who've gone through the genetic memory thing, but they've been possessed by one of their memories. They're known as
Ah.
an abomination. That's why she says
Mm.
an abomination. She's being literal in that sense.
Like
She wasn't
literally,
just like
fair enough.
she yeah, she wasn't like cursing it out or something like that. She was being literal. But we find out more about the dreams, and Raquel kind of lets us know that during the
They're
thinking
not dreams.
wars,
Mm-hmm.
they're not dreams, they're what she calls prescience, prescience,
Yeah,
prescience. Yes, you can see, which in the Dune universe means people who can see the past, present, and the
past
future.
and future. Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily know what it's predicting, but we do know how some of this stuff is working. Apparently, during the thinking machine wars, there's something known as the omnious plague, which
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
affects the fear centers. So as soon as fear is triggered, yeah, this thing reacts to
This
you, which I think is
power.
interesting, right? Right,
So
affects the
it makes
liver and the
sense though,
brain.
somehow. It's like
Hmm.
fight or flight type of
Hmm.
thing, but in your brain multiplied by spice.
Right, and like all you have to do is create a fear scenario for it to kick in. Boom. So that's
No
why it's
matter
always
what.
like,
Mm-hmm.
right, you have to control your fear. You even see the girls training, right, with the flame burning their hand, trying to
Like
control how
yeah.
you react to things, control your body, things like that. I thought that was interesting. I'm curious to see where it goes, and I'm curious to see how that connects because as much as we know parts of Desmond's heritage, it doesn't explain how he survived being eaten by a worm. It doesn't explain his
Exactly.
powers.
Exactly. That was my thing. I was like, oh, okay, great. That's your mom. Okay. And now, how do you do the mutilation by pressing your head and burning people? That there's no
Right.
correlation between that
How,
at all. But
how do you block the voice?
and one thing that was really cool that Desmond did. Sorry, when the bar or whatever exploded,
Mhm. Oh,
and
his shield.
his shield, was such a good little cinematic moment. It's like, oh,
Eh, Can I tell you that one of those things that kind of a nitpick for this show for me?
okay.
As much as I've enjoyed this show, I think there's certain elements that the show has been missing that kind of connect it to the Dune universe. And many times it felt separate from the movies. And yes, by design it is, but it's those kind of moments that we needed more of, right? To remind us,
Mm,
oh shit, because we've seen that in the movie. We
yeah,
had some of it in episode one, but we haven't seen some of that visual action. It's very this show again, probably by design, but this show is more drama than action. I wish we had
yeah,
more action sequences to
yeah.
show us that Dune universe, right? And I think it could have kind of balanced out the action a tad more because I really like
I
that
think
moment. You're
so.
like, oh yeah, shit,
Yeah.
that was cool, right?
I
Uh,
agree, and even Atreides, right? Because he used the shield as well.
mhm.
Um, near the
Well, the
end,
thing is,
if I remember,
everyone of high power standings in the universe has said
has it?
always have
Yeah,
a shield. It's always on because that's a protection. That's why most people use blades because you can't
hmm
kill someone with a bullet. So it's
yeah.
bullets are just useless. You have to be up close to kill somebody. So I wish we saw more
More of
of
that.
those things done. Yeah,
I agree.
because I feel like it's not an expensive visual effect either to do right. I
It's
feel like
not. It's not. It's
it's
like a
very simple.
little blue blur on the
Right,
body.
right. um, we get a interesting scene where Harrow goes and grovels at Desmond. I'm sorry, sorry. I wasn't supposed to be. I didn't
I
want to
didn't
do this. I
expect
was
that. He's such a coward. I wasn't sure if that was Valia's plan. The whole time he was there, I was like, Mm,
But it kind of seems like it kind of was to send him
I
there,
think so.
right?
I think so.
Right. It's just that I think that he's kind of has a double cross plan, possibly,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he has his own things. He already knows, like, yeah, Riley is kind of, I can't fully trust her, but I can also use her the way she's like everybody's using everybody. It's just
Yeah.
this layers of everyone tangled in how they find each other useful. Because I think he does also want to betray Valia because he's
Yeah.
also scared of Desmond. But at the same time, he also scared of Valia, kind of wants to help her. He's kind of,
It's like you're scared of both, and it's like I don't
yeah,
know who to pick, but maybe I'll let fate decide.
exactly, exactly. He doesn't have any allegiances to any particular one
Mm-mm.
place, but if one of them dies, then sure, I'll side with the other one.
Perfect. Then I'll go with the one that's alive.
Yeah. That's the vibe I get from him for sure. Uh, oh, actually, speaking of Desmond, there's a theory. Here's theory time. Theory time. In the Dune books, there's
Mm-hmm.
something known as the Golas, Gholas, the Gola. A
Like cloney
Gola,
stuff.
yes, a Gola is artificially created humans created from a cell of someone who died. So again, it could explain Desmond more, right? Where Desmond could have been the child of Chula. He died, and then he was now this version we see of him is the artificial, robotic style
Mm.
version that's been created. And that's why he'll still have the DNA because it's made from the
Yeah,
cell of someone
and
who died. But it also explains
yeah.
why he has these kind of powers. I don't know.
The
Because we
question
we
is by
we
who though? Like who did that?
by who?
If so.
Well, again, that's the thing, right? By who? Who's is he? Well, that's the thing with knowing information we do know now that he wants revenge of the sisters. The question is he still working on his own? Is it purely his own thing, or is he still getting help from someone else?
Yeah.
No idea.
I don't
Curious.
know that. Who knows? I'm gonna wait for the finale to give some final verdicts, but it just
Mhm,
feels like there's still quite a few question marks. And I guess to be fair, you don't have to answer every single question in the show. I get that, but
mhm.
there's still so much mystery. And I hope it's not a cop out answer. Basically, that's really my wish because that dude was eaten by that worm. We all saw it.
That's what
We even
I'm
saw it from his
saying.
perspective. Like
We also
we know it happened.
there's footage about it. Um,
That's what I mean.
Another thing I
Just
like.
on that, I don't get that is because would the clone remember if the real one was eaten? Do you know what I mean? Because the cell had to have been
Yeah,
from before
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So like, would the clone even have that memory? Is what I
Well,
can't
I
really.
don't know. I don't know if you can clone it and then like have selective memory. Like, okay, I want you to remember this and not remember that. I don't know. I don't know too much in that detail. But
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
we shall find out. Another Dune thing that we hear about in this episode is through Francesca. We hear about the term an imprinter
Mm-hmm.
because Francesca has imprinting powers, and in Dune law, an imprinter, I have it written down here, is a member of the sisterhood that uses seduction, sex, and love to form unbreakable bonds with their partners. So, as Mother Superior Valia explains, making an impression so strong it alters the course of someone's life, an emotional and physical bond that never breaks. So you understand why
He's
Havoc goes
great
like,
in
oh,
bed.
Havoc goes like,
It's not.
oh,
It's
it's you
not his
again.
fault, right? It's not
it's,
his fault, right? Like there's
it's
actually a
literally
power
imprinted,
there. Mm-hmm.
right? It's like he was targeted,
Yeah, because he
right?
looked so enamored when she was there. It was like,
Oh, he turned into a
oh
simp,
my,
straight up.
yeah, 100%.
Straight up
100%.
simp.
And his wife knew it. She's like, for sake, come on. Come on.
You know that meme of the guy walking with his girlfriend and looking back?
Yep,
That's
exactly.
Havoc.
That's actually I need to make that. That's spot on. That was exactly him right there.
That was so it just and then even when he's like kissing her and he's so upset when she stops the kiss, he seemed like so like
He was
distraught.
like, no, don't stop. And I love that the Empress too was like, all right, well, all right, come here,
Come on,
Desmond.
Desmond. But do you think she actually likes Desmond like that?
Like is an interesting word. I feel like she's attracted to his power and his demeanor, and he's the closest thing to what she would consider a concubine or someone she would sleep with. Like not like I feel like if she just saw him randomly at a bar, I don't know if he's her pick, but just
Mhm,
based
mhm,
on all that has happened, she's attracted to him and his actions and all that he has become, right? And the
mhm.
Habico and Francesca thing was just like the final straw. She's like, all right, I'm getting me some.
If you're getting some, I'm getting some too.
I'm getting some.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Little moments. You get a moment with Inez and Kieran when she sees him. He's
Mm-hmm.
now in the floaty prison.
Yeah,
and
she does a
she
little
does the
truth
truth on
saying.
him. And he's like, "I'm not lying. I'm not lying. See,
I ain't got nothing to
I'm
lie
not lying."
about. Mm-mm. And she seemed to soften up a little bit after that. Good acting as well, because she was definitely pissed. And she spoke to him. I was like, okay, maybe I get a little bit, or at least a little more empathetic. So I wonder what's gonna happen. Is she gonna somehow help him escape?
Well, I think because again, she's already on the path to kind of being against her father and what he's done. She
Uh-huh.
knows what's happened. So she's not like she's she was already down that path. She even came out and just like, no, my father did it. So I feel like this is just going to fuel that more, and
I
especially
agree.
knowing that he is telling the truth and he is doing what he's doing for the good of the Imperium in terms of helping the people itself out. And so I think I can see her being like, oh, you know what? She's at least
I
instrumental
hope to.
in going
Yeah,
against the father. Yeah,
I
for
see
sure.
that too. I think there's definitely something there.
So, but here's my question: do you think that would lead to a clash between her and her brother Constantine?
100%. My 100% might be bold, but I feel like even the look she gave him when she found out he turned um dude in Kieran,
Mm,
I
mm,
feel like she was upset a little bit, like, wow, one, you didn't tell me. I'm hearing fresh from father. Even if he
mm,
did it, maybe she would have expected a little respect and like, yo, by the way, you dude's a snitch.
mhm.
So I feel like, that the animosity has been building, and that might be kind of be the tipping point where she's like, listen, F this family, F you daddy, F you brother, I hate you all. I want to join the sisters. I'm going against
Mhm,
you guys.
mhm,
So that'll be interesting, but I don't know. I want to see the ramifications of all of the actions and like kind of the intersection because there's so many players on this chessboard, right? Valia,
mhm.
Desmond, Inez, Emperor, Empress, Kieran, Michaela, her name, bartender lady.
Yeah,
Just
Michaela.
quite a few people that are all kind of in the same battle, even though they're technically fighting kind of different people. But it's like, what is the conclusion to this? Like, how does this really end? And now Francesca just came to throw a wrench in all the plans. I
Right.
guess like I didn't see her in my rear view. Like I had no way to predict
Nope.
her, and so now it's like, oh wow, okay, Emperor is actually completely whipped, and so what is she gonna use that whippedness to do or to
Mhm.
achieve?
Couple of things I liked that we haven't spoken about. I always like the intros where we see space scenes, establishing shots. I'm always like, yay,
Mm-hmm.
sci-fi show. It's done great.
Yep.
It always looks good when you see spaceships landing. I'm always happy
Mm-hmm.
to see that. I liked when Desmond is talking to Harrow and then is telling him something, and Harrow's like, and what does that mean? And Harrow and Desmond's like, I don't know, it's your story.
Yeah.
It's just
Like
like
what do you mean?
you tell me what you're talking about. Also, we get a nice little callback. The moment of Emperor says, mentions along the lines of on old Earth, humanity's time on old Earth. I was like, hey, that's where we
The
live.
meme said, "Yeah, hey, it's hey, what's up? Look, mom, I'm on TV."
Because in Gene Law, people started from Earth, as you do here, but
Mhm.
it's so far away that they see Earth. To them, it's like the story of the Garden of Eden. It's
Basically.
yeah, which is we always talk about this show being having influenced Star Wars a lot. This is where
Mhm.
it's separate because Star Wars happens in the Earth's past, a long time
Mhm.
ago, in a galaxy far, far away, where Dune is Earth's future, which is
Mhm.
uh,
So
which is
it's
always
a nice
fun.
connection.
Yes. Anything else? Small things
Just
that
really
we haven't
quick,
talked about.
I like how Jen, the sister, was just so upset
Mhm.
in the beginning, right? Like
Mhm.
they were just trying to act like everything is normal, and she's like, "Are you kidding me? Come on,
What?
like, like no, 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 no. We're learning about truth saying and not telling us the truth. Like, no, 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 no. I and Tula's just like, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. But I
It's
felt
like
like that was realistic.
you want us to disown the truth? Like, how is that
How
possible?
how how we were learning all about the truth.
That's
So
literally
yeah,
what we're doing.
and I still want to know why she didn't drink.
Exactly. Exactly. I was literally about to say that. That's another mystery. What's up with her?
I feel like we're still going to find out. I hope we do. It doesn't feel like something that won't be touched on, but that's part of my quote unquote worries or
Mhm,
curiosities is how much are we
mhm.
going to get tied up in this last episode? And is it going to be one connecting thread? Or are we going to have even more questions that lead to them having to approve another season?
Shit. Even Theo's powers, how are they going to be used? Because you don't introduce those powers for it not to be used. Right. So what is that going to
So
lead to? What's going to use?
I don't let me not say upset me, but I was so sure we're gonna see something in this episode. Who knows? Maybe we get a
Mhm.
flashback and we find out that she's one of the people that did something.
Uh,
Maybe she's doing Francesca,
uh,
she's not. But I'm super curious because, like you said, that was such a big reveal, and I was almost waiting every time even when I saw Theo, I was almost upset. Like, you're not meant to be you right now. You're meant to be somebody else. Like, what are you doing here?
Why are you looking like you?
So yeah, they better tie that up.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's all I have. Season finale has a lot to give us
Mm-hmm.
because I have no
Mm-hmm.
idea where it's going. That could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. I don't know. Again, what's good about this show is that there is no like one bad guy. I think everyone's a bad guy.
Yeah,
Everyone's an antagonist to everyone. Right?
exactly.
Everyone's the antagonist. I think that's also the problem. I think the show, and we spoke about this in terms of expectations, where we thought Inez was going to be like the main audience
Main. Mm-hmm.
protagonist, right? Like in the movies, you follow Paul, you have someone
Yeah.
to follow. I feel like we don't have anyone to follow. We're not following anyone.
Mm.
Even yes, you could
Mm.
say Valia, it's Valia's story, where it could be something like the Penguin, where you're following the story of someone who ends up being bad evil, but we don't
Yeah.
follow her enough for that either,
No, we don't.
right? And I think I don't know if that's I think that's a disservice to the show, and I think it needs to have this kind of character focus. And yes, we can
Yeah.
still have these narratives, but we need to follow someone,
Yeah.
and I hope that changes going forward.
Same, because that's why I call it people on the chessboard. It's just like, you're not really sure who is even the king. I mean, maybe you know who the king is, like Valium of the queen and the emperor is there, but like there's so many people to keep track of, and they're all doing
Mhm.
things, and it's like, okay, it's fun, but at the same time, like you said, I'm now not sure who to keep my eyes on, or
Mhm.
where's the focus, right? But again, I just hope the finale is able to give us a satisfying conclusion to at least, you know, 2 or 3 of the storylines. I'm even
Yes,
still
yes.
expecting Pruitt's father to come back, right?
Seriously
With an
though, like he
army.
just
No,
left just
like,
like that.
no, he's coming back.
Can I tell you? Even there's a moment where Desmond says to the emperor, to let the ships fly around as a show of power.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say, "Let the ship fly around," because I heard this guy's coming back with his army, something like that. I
Mm,
thought that was going to happen. I
yeah.
thought we were going to see some massive battle. That's the thing. We haven't seen a battle. We haven't seen an aerial battle or sword battle. Like these are the
Nothing.
things for me that are part of June. I want to see all that. Yes, we could get in the final episode, but might that be a bit too little,
Mm,
too late? I feel like we could have
mm.
had more spread out stuff happening.
Sprinkled throughout the season for sure,
Yeah.
but like you said, I guess it's more of a drama, which it is what it is. I mean, but it would have been nice.
Yes, of course. All right. Anyway, what do you nerdies think of this episode, this penultimate episode? What are your expectations for the finale, and what do you think of this season as a whole? Find us on social media at the Nerdy Bunch. We are all over various social media platforms.
Yep, yep.
Also, whichever platform you're listening or watching this on, please review us, give us a thumbs up, star review, whatever it is that they do, and leave a comment. It helps us get recognized, and also we like to
I like to chat.
chat with you guys. Yes, we do. Check out our other podcasts. We have Silo season 2. We have
Hmm.
Star Wars Skeleton
Skeleton
Crew.
crew.
We also have Creature Commandos and a whole bunch of stuff we recorded before and upcoming stuff we have coming into the new year. So keep it locked on the Nerdy Bunch to find out about it.
It's
And you
just
can also send us a message at the Nerdy Bunch
that's
podcast
awesome
at
thing.
gmail.com if you want to give us some recommendations, stuff to watch. On that note, thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, David.
My name's Dave, and my name's Dave, and this has been a Nerdy Bunch review for Dune Prophecy episode 5. One more episode to go. And as always, Andrew,
Keep it nerdy.
peace.